What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome, and I'm coming to you tonight with the review for Black Ink Crew Chicago. This is season number 5. This is episode number 6, and the episode was titled Phor. So this was a dark and deep episode, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit later why it was so dark and deep for me. But without further ado, let's get started with the review. All right, so this episode, we see the group. They are all together after the whole debacle with Van and Jen last week. So Van tells us that, after the non-nuptials, Jen left and she went and checked into a hotel. So then we see Charmaine. Charmaine was having a conversation with, I think she was having a conversation with Wednesday Addams or Bella. I can't remember who the fuck she was having. It was Bella. She was having a conversation about a cup that she puts up her puss when she's having on her period, and she pushes the cup out and it's full of blood. I'm like, oh gosh, Charmaine, like, you sometimes less is more. Like, you could have kept that. Like, ugh. So then we also saw Van, he was talking to Ryan about how he's fucked up. He's fucked up over Jen. And what better person to talk to than Ryan, because Ryan knows a thing or two about fucking his girl over. I mean, then we had to go down memory lane with, Ryan messing around with Kat. But, Ryan, he's there just trying to, talk to Van and show Van some support. Although Van didn't show him any support. But, Ryan is taking the high road. And I'm like, look at Ryan. Like, you go, Ryan, I guess. All right, y'all. So next we see Charmaine. So Charmaine did tell us that she had, I guess, a customer appreciation party for the people who came out to support them while they were out there in Vegas. And, they had a party. I'm like, oh my God, here we go with another non-mag party. Like, is it going to end in a fight? Which they did show us last week, a fight between Evanita, Jen, Lily, Bella, and Charmaine. But I guess they omitted that out of the episode because of what happened in the episode, which I'm cool with that. I don't give a fuck about Evanita, Event, as Ashley called her. Like, I don't really care about it. So, then we see Junior and Adriana show up. And, they got there. And surprise, surprise, Lily didn't want to fight with them. I'm like, okay, growth for Lily. That's interesting. So then we see this scene with Don. So Don is at the bar and he's, meeting his dad there. And we all know his dad lost his mom and his brother. So some time go by and his dad didn't show up. So then Don calls his dad and it goes to voicemail. So then I know it said an hour had passed, I guess, after that. So then Don FaceTimes Ashley and he tells Ashley that his dad didn't show up. And he's just worried about his dad because his dad battles with depression and suicide, much like what his sister dealt with. And then also Phor deals with it. So then we go back to the party. Lily goes up to talk to Adriana. She tells Adriana that there's no beef between she and her, that, the whole stuff that happened in Jamaica, it just got out of hand. And, Adriana is cool with it as well, saying there's no beef as well. So then, they go outside, they take a shot. And, Lily once again wants to make peace with both of those two. And then Ryan tells Lily that, Junior's coming back to the shop. And she's like, well, damn, I just made peace with him. And now you're telling me he's coming back to the shop. I'm like, Lily, this is not about you. Shut up. All right. So then we see another scene where Don, he goes to check up on his dad. Because like I said, his dad never showed up to the meeting place that they were supposed to meet up at. And he's just worried about his dad since he lost his dad lost his brother and his mother, and his and Don's talking about his sister who committed suicide as well. And his dad is just telling him how he feels like his spirit is broken, how he feels alone. And when his dad said that, all that resonated with me because I know what his dad is going through because of losing his mother. Because all of you who have been with me since I started this channel, started doing videos, and good majority of you know that I've lost my mom. I lost my mom. It'll be 2 years on March 19th, which will be also my grandmother's birthday. So, I definitely 100% understand where his dad is coming from, how he feels alone, because I feel alone in this world myself. I was my mom's only child, and it just feels like nobody understands the pain, the hurt, the heartache, the heartbreak, the sadness. It just feels like no one understands what I feel. And I'm not going to say that nobody understands, because my mom had siblings, but no one knows what it's like for me, because I was the only person who called my mom mama, and I'm the only person who is ever going to call her that. So, and it's so hard to go from, talking to your mother one day, and then the next day, dead silence, nothing. Like, I had a conversation with my mom a few months before she died, and I think my mom at that point had, she had, come to terms with the fact that she was dying, because she literally told me those words, and not so many. She said those words actually exact to me. Because we sat down, we had a conversation. She asked me some questions about myself and my life, and she said, Jerome, Mama is dying. And I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. And I told her that. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. She said, I know you don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. She said, Mama's body is starting to shut. I'm going to try to get through this. She told me that her body was starting to shut down. And, when she told me that, I told her that, I told her when we had this conversation, I told her I can't live my life without you. Like, I would prefer if it was me who goes before you. And she broke down crying, because she told me that she had lived her life and that she wanted me to live mine. But I told her, I'm like, I just don't know what I would do without you. Like, and I still don't know to this day, almost 2 years later, I don't know what I'm doing without her. Like, I just feel lost. And I like I said, I understand where Don's dad is coming from. Like, I'm in that space. I didn't even mean to start crying, but I had a feeling it was going to happen. But I don't know what I'm doing without my mother. Like, she was pretty much all I had, because I lost my grandmother. It has been 6 years on January 1st. And when my mom passed away, it had been 4 years at that point. And I had started to, put my life back together, because, I spent a lot of my time with my mom and my grandmother, and I was starting to put my life together, and I'm like, okay, God, show me what you want me to do. And I had been praying to God for so long. I'm like, when my grandmother died, I prayed to him. I'm like, whatever you do, just do not take my mother away from me. Do not do. I'm like, just don't. I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I'm like, that's the last thing in this world that I need. But back to the show. So Don tells his dad, I want you to get back to you. You got people who love you. I want you to get out of this dark place. And, I want you to come to stay with me in Ashland, the boys, for however long you want to. And his dad said, cool. I'll come stay with you guys for about a week or two. So then let's move back over to the party. So Jen shows up to the party, and, Van wants to talk to Jen. So Van and Jen go outside. They start talking. And, they talk about them not getting married. He says he wants to marry Jen one day. And Jen says the reason why she did what she did, because that was an ultimatum. I'm like, Jen, I mean, I kind of, no, I don't get where Jen's coming from. I get her giving Van an ultimatum. It's either me or, the other girls that you want to mess around with. I get that part, but I don't understand why she felt that Marion Van was going to change anything. And then, she talked about all the things, how he humiliates her and everything. And, he started crying. She's like, nah, don't you start crying. And then he tried to hug and she's like, don't touch me. And, when it comes to Jen, I'm like, you've been with Van for almost 10 years. And I think, like, I can't grasp what Jen goes through. Like, at some point in time, you got to be like, you know what? I'm over your shit. I got to go because I can't keep sitting here dealing with this. So also we saw Lily. So Lily was watching Adriana and Junior dancing, and she got in her feelings. So then she went in the garage and started crying. So Adriana, being a good person, she go and check on Lily and make sure Lily's okay. Lily tells her, I'm just in my feelings because of, you and Junior. And she said again, the whole thing, it had nothing to do with you. She said, because you making Junior happy, and that's all that matters. But, I still got feelings for him. And, the way things ended with them, it just wasn't good. So that's why things boiled over with Adriana and Lily, if that's what Lily wants to say. So then Lily feels the moment it's right for her to be honest with Adriana and tell her that Junior texted her, talking about he still loved her and that, he wanted to be with her. And this was all when he and Adriana first got together. So then, Junior come out there. He asked what's going on between them. And Adriana was like, did you text Lily telling you loved her? He's like, no. And then, Adriana got mad and she stormed off. And Junior was like, Lily, you lying. Like, I never told you that. All I told you was I got love for you. And, so then Junior going off on Lily. And, Adriana come back out there and, she tells Junior to leave. And then, she storms out again and leave. I'm like, what was that? Like, that shit was crazy. Okay, gal. So now we get to the true heavy stuff of the episode. I'm going to try to get through this the best I can. Bear with me as I talk about this. So we saw the camera, they were filming at 2 a.m. in the morning. And, we hear, Charmaine noticed something was going on with Phor. So Charmaine goes to the bathroom door and we can hear Phor crying, saying, how he feels alone. And then they started talking about this song that Phor has. It's called Help. And he posted a picture on IG and he had a noose around his neck. And at the bottom of it, it did have a caption that if you need help to call that number. So, then they get Phor to come out of the bathroom. And Phor is saying how, he feels like if he were not here, that people would value and respect him more. Now, I've never felt like people would value and respect me. I've never had that type of problem because I'm the type of person that if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. And I don't, that doesn't bother me. I mean, it did bother me as a kid when people would say hurtful things to me. I used to feel, as a kid, so I will go back and say that. As a kid, I did deal with that when people used to make the jokes that they used to make about me. And there were quite a few times where I did, actually it was 2 times that I thought about, people would leave me alone if I just ended my life. Because at one point in my life, I went in the kitchen and I got a butcher knife and I was going to slit my wrist. But actually it was twice that I had that incident, but something told me not to do it. I don't know what it was, but something just told me don't do it. Charmaine, she goes in there and she wakes Van up and tells Van that something going on with Phor, like come in here. So they all go in there and they're all talking to him, and he talking about he wants to go to sleep. And Charmaine is like, no, you're not, you can go to sleep, but you're not going to sleep by yourself. Like, she's like, Van, are you staying here? He said, yeah, I'm staying in here with him. So then the next morning, it was 10 something in the morning. No one could find Phor. Phor had up and disappeared in the middle of the night. So, then Charmaine, she goes to get Ryan. She wakes Ryan up and tells Ryan that they can't find Phor. So, Ryan wouldn't come out and film while they were trying to find Phor, which understandable. And let me mention this because I tweeted this and I wasn't being funny, being rude or anything. All I tweeted was, why did Charmaine not have on a bra? And the reason why I said that, and if anybody watches Roxanne, Forest Rocks, Roxanne tweeted the same thing. She said, can Charmaine just at least put on a bra? And I wasn't saying that in the sense of, being an asshole, a jerk, or nothing like that. I was thinking from the standpoint of Neek, and then the fact that Charmaine is in the house with nothing but, Lily, Bella, and Wednesday Addams over there. But at this point, it was Ryan, Van, and the cameraman. So she was walking around with her, her shirt just like this, but her titties were out. And I'm like, just at least cover. And I know that's not the first thing she's thinking about with Phor missing. But I was just saying, hey, you are around men. Just cover yourself up just a little bit. It's nothing wrong with, having on a t-shirt or either just put on another shirt. Just cover that up. Like I said, she's in the house with men. I was not being insensitive. I was just thinking that, hey, she's a woman. Her titties are hanging out. Just put a bra on. So, they're trying to reach Phor, and nobody. I think Van called him, but it went to voicemail. So then Charmaine and Van called Don, and Don tells him, Phor has been diagnosed with depression, and we see Van. He texts him, and then 40 minutes later, he gets a text back saying that he was good. So then, Van, I guess he told Van where he was. So Van goes to go check on him. And then another 45 minutes later, the producers are talking to Van. And Van is saying, hey, he's good. We're going to go to Atlanta where his mama and his sisters are. And, we see Charmaine. She's telling the other girls what's going on, which was really Bella and Wednesday Addams. Oh, God. So I actually got through that. But this episode, I actually sat on my couch and I just cried because that whole scene is just the scene with his dad and the scene with Phor. It spoke to me. So it spoke to me because, and then also what Ryan said, how people deal with depression, but they are not diagnosed with it, which I'm a person who is one of them. I know for a fact that I'm battling depression. I'm battling suicide. I'm battling depression because this is a new stage in my life where I am on my own. I don't have my mom. I don't have my grandmother. And it's just me by myself. And I'm trying to navigate my life. I live alone. I don't have a car because, I listen to family members telling me to let go of my car because it was in my mama's name. My car has stopped on me, and they were like, "Are you gonna be able to pay for it? Can you do this and can you do that?" And I listened to family members telling me that, and I put myself in a bad situation to now I don't have a car. I have to catch the bus, the train. If I miss that, I have to walk wherever I'm going. And now I'm trying to get a car. I can't even get a car because I haven't had insurance for almost 2 years. So it's just a lot that I'm going through. And there are so many days that I get bogged down and I get depressed. And, I'm just now telling my family that I've been dealing with depression for the last 2 years. And I just recently told two of my family members that I tried to commit suicide not last year, but it was 2017. My mom birthday. It was the first. She died in 2017, and she literally died March, April, May, June, July, August, September. She died 6 months to the day of her birthday. She died March 19th. Her birthday was September 19th. So when her birthday rolled around, I was living by myself. I was living in a pretty busy spot in Dallas, If anybody know the area of Frisco, you know that's a busy area over there by Stonebriar Mall. So it was heavy traffic over there, and on her birthday, I had got so depressed that I went downstairs in my apartment. There was a Walmart across the street from my apartment. I walked outside and I walked into traffic and I just stood there. But luckily enough, the car that was coming, they went right around me. I don't know if it was, I know it was God and my mom telling me, I don't want this for you. But that was the first time that this is actually the first time that I've told the story out loud. But, you know, I got through it. And like Phor and myself, get help. I want Phor to get help, and I want myself to get help. And anybody out there that's struggling with, you know, depression or suicidal thoughts, it's okay to get help. But that was the video. Like my video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.